Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma. Playing on Hermitcraft. Gotta go get some more rockets. Gotta get some stuff. Oh wow. Cub gave me this. I only just noticed it. Hi everyone, welcome. We're working on the Nautilus Racecourse. I'm slap bang in the middle of it, as you can probably see. We need to go get mud and glow like in, and I'm gonna sneeze. Time for an emergency mute. Oh, that was a violent one. Oh, I'm awake. I'm alive. God. Hello to everyone tuning in the chat and saying hello, welcome. You love watching these streams during your morning gym session. Awesome, awesome. Nice to hear you're hitting the gym. There is a slight problem I've just remembered. My bone meal supply is kind of at the moment. And I do have more mud available. Oh, do you know what? I just remember where there's some more bone meal. We're good, we're good. You're just wondering what to watch? Well, tune in. There will be building, terraforming, landscaping, all the things. I got another supply right here. I'm very fortunate. So, this thing, by the way, the bone meal farm, I think we've still got more work to do on it to get it to produce. I just called it a bone meal farm. It's a moss. Yeah, it's a moss farm first. I kind of figured out what I did wrong in terms of getting this thing to work to make bone meal for the player. And I really want to work on it, but we can't get distracted. So in a future stream, we'll come back to that. Can't get distracted because we've got to make glow like and we've got to work on the racecourse. I've only got a week to get this thing done. Been a bit of a goose and had the wrong date in mind. Thought I had another month. So here we are. Yeah, let's just do the last three like this. And let's get to work. We got Glow Gender here subscribing. And we also got Raffy Warren here for 72 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So for this one, we want to click it like this. Do you know what this means? I can pick up my cup of tea and hold it in my hands. Isn't that nice? Yo, Blaze Junkie 82, 115 months. Absolutely legendary. Appreciate it so much. Racecourse question mark. Ah, someone has not been watching Cub Fans videos. You're taking a break from grinding coffee because the grinder hates you. Ah, a faulty grinder, hey? I had a fresh bean coffee the other day in London, and I was reminded just how much I like coffee when it's with fresh beans. Might have to buy myself a bag again. Oh my god, I'm always trying to get away from coffee and just finding my way back to it. Siberian Wolf. 27 months. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm alright, thanks for asking. Just kind of woke up early and cracked on, went for a little walk, done some exercise, had a little breakfast. Just, my whole day's like planned out already, you know? You think this Nautilus race will be absolute cinema? Absolute cinema. If you say so. Matcha full question? Matcha full? Dunno. Stefan RBK coming in for 51. Hey, surely don't miss the Mumbo prank today, right? Oh, my dude, sorry you missed. By the way, if you just tuned in, you've missed the Mumbo prank. Oh, no. Oh, it's such a good prank as well. And Mumbo himself came onto the server. And then he invited a bunch of you to join him in his Minecraft world. Oh my god, you missed out on it. Bell Stevens, thank you so much for 45 months. Hey X, just passing through. Hope you and chat have a great stream. Thank you, my dude. Thanks for passing by and thanks for the resub. Do I have any advice on getting a month-old baby to go to sleep? You just set me up for a very dark joke. I'm not going to say it. I'm definitely not going to say it. I don't know why you would ask me of all people for advice. Yo, Powerball's coming in with the gift. Oh my god. Oh my god. The reflex to press the animation button. But we don't have it anymore. The animation is gone. Powerballs, man. Thank you for gifting subs. Always appreciated. Peeps, come back to chat and check and say thank you if you got one. There are no animations for now. Sadly, no more animations. I probably will one day get back to putting them on the channel, rebuilding them all and stuff, because I want to move to OBS. But dang, I got a list of other things I want to do first at the moment. All right. Let's take this mud right here. And that's probably more than enough, right? No. No, let's just fill up a box. All of this, by the way, all of this was for False. False was asking for mud, so I made her loads. Then I ran out of dirt. And then I needed mud. And she never came by and took all of this, so, if she turns up now, I'm sorry, False. I've needed it myself. I'll put any I don't use back there. But yeah, it was like, I was happy to just AFK and make some mud for another hermit. That's super easy. Used up all my dirt. I'm not going to need that again, right? Sod's law, need it again immediately. It's always like that. It's always something you don't expect as well. It's never like, oh, of course, because the next thing I was going to do was some landscaping. It's always like something pops up out of nowhere and it's like, oh, and now I need that thing. Would I ever pursue a career as a chef? I'm a chef unto myself, and I have already pursued this career. On the Fritz, thank you so much for gifting subs as well. I can't shower you with an animation today, unfortunately. We got the hype train in chat. We got no hype train here on the stream. Sad times. Sad times. But Peeps has always come back to the chat. Check. Say thanks. Oh, that reminds me. There's a message I wanted to say. I'm going to type it right now because I keep forgetting to send it. Right. Yeah, the thing I wanted to say was that if you do get gifted a sub, it gets you access to the Let's Play Minecraft Together server and to our Discord server. If you're interested in joining and ask in chat, they'll point you in the right direction. Alice is so cool. Says, speak your truth, X. Speak my truth. I kind of don't quite understand where you're coming from there. Right, so we got to do this thing where we place blocks in block placing game. I know, crazy, right? Probably going to want a shovel here as well. You was literally saying shower me in Discord and server info instead. Okay. Right, so the view from the front side, like I want it so it feels like all the blocks go down to the bottom. It always looks weird when you just see them sitting on top of a different material. So that's that. From the other side, I'm currently not so bothered. I want to get as much of this done that's important before I get stuff that isn't done. I think I'm going to need bamboo blocks for the sides as well. And I feel like I should definitely have a bunch of bamboo. Oh, wow. Okay, I've really overdone the mud thing. I thought I didn't have any over here. I definitely feel like there should be some bamboo. Maybe I've ran out. Dang, okay, let's go get some. Back to the base we go again. Forever back and forth grabbing things. Forever grabbing stuff. We got more noises in the ear. Ooh, drifted quite far then. Elias Spicy, whose name I will never pronounce correctly. It's just a feature, it's not a bug. Thank you for 7 months. Also for 7 months is the Friendly Cat with a K. Thank you so much, Friendly Cat. Look at this. Ooh. We are getting blocks galore over here. How is the 5G on the server? It's good. I get good reception. But the question is, what is my Minecraft cell phone? Is it this? Is it this thing down here? It's definitely that thing, isn't it? That's how it works because of these towers, right? Can you imagine that? If we couldn't have that technology until the towers were built, that would be kind of hilarious. You literally stayed up way too late building a Terraria you don't want to think about placing a block. Fine if you do, though. Well, thanks for your permission, mate. I'm glad that you think it's fine that I can place a block. Thank you for your permission. I was a little bit concerned before placing these blocks. If you had super hearing with the towers. If I had super hearing, I wouldn't need the towers. Come on now. Tears, you love that song. It's a banger. It's a banger. You gotta go to sleep and stuff. Enjoy your sleep, my dude. I always enjoy my sleep. I enjoy rest. As long as I get it right. Sometimes I go to bed and like my brain is too fired up and then I'm like, uh-oh. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. That's not so fun. But sometimes it's like that, right? And that's the way it is. It's like that. And that's the way it is. Dun, 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 dun. What song is that? Jason Nevis? Run DMC remix, right? Oh my god, my brain. It's so slow. Do I dream often? I pretty much dream multiple dreams every night and remember them when I wake up. I think if I dream journaled, it would probably go to like another level of detail. Like I always seem to pick up on what I dream about. Art Captain says, you speak my brand of sarcasm, X. Love how you deal with these silly goose questions. They are silly goose questions, aren't they? And notice how I wasn't even sarcastic reading your message. There was no room for sarcasm there. Are you going to finish the course today, X? Well, the course is finished, but it's like doing everything else around it. If you were invited, would you join the live series? I don't think I would. I'd very much appreciate and be honored by an invite, but I'm not a roleplay type person. You might have noticed. It's not really my forte, as they say. Yo, we got more noises in the eardrums. We got Too Late 2 resubbing for 3 months. We've also got Dr. Fox. I know it says D Fox. I'm calling you Dr. Fox. I just decided. Gonna need to go grab some more dirt, I am. Let's go get that. Hey X, after watching your Bundle Boutique episode, I got inspired and made a mod that lets you use shulker boxes like bundles. Is that something you're interested in using? I am, but like I only play on Hermitcraft, so it's not something to impose on everyone, but yeah, that kind of functionality on shulkers I think would be incredible. There's more ideas as well that I'd love to implement, but you know, you have to when you play with other people, you got to get a consensus, right? Look at that. It's always the last place that I look. Why is that, eh? I wonder. X would get distracted and killed in like the second session. Is that of the life thing? See, I remembered. Gotta remember what we were talking about a minute ago. Morning X, what are we doing today? Great question. We are working on the Nautilus Racecourse. And that is the next bit of it right there. I do actually, I want to time lapse some of the terraforming stuff. I don't think I'm gonna time lapse this bit though. that we're doing right now. Also, all that glow lighting that I made, that was to put across the front here and illuminate the track at night. I should also kill squid when I see them. That's the thing I've been doing. I made myself a little rule. See squid, kill them. That's it. Ka-cha! With sound effects. Oh my goodness me. That just makes killing them so much better. Yeah, we got a donation here from Miss Snowy, a very generous one. Thank you so much. Got introduced to Ginger from your music blog, seeing them live later today. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for the dono. I'm glad you found some music that you enjoyed. That's awesome. It was quite a while ago that I would have posted about Ginger, right? Did you read about them back then or recently? But thank you so much again. And enjoy the show. I've seen them live once, and it was a really good show. Actually, no, I've seen them live twice. I've seen them at Download Festival, I think. I preferred seeing them in the club. That's what I remember. Would you do past builds from your previous seasons this season, or is that a secret? I tend to not rebuild anything. In fact, I don't think I've ever rebuilt something, other than maybe a farm. You died on an SMP. Any thoughts on how to get your stuff back with a warden camping it? You might have to sneak back with like carpets. Maybe like test an experiment in a single player world. Like set up the same scenario. Oh, apparently 20 wardens are camping it. Dang. Another thing you could do is maybe do an Ender Pearl stasis chamber on a timer. Like, get in, get out, but, like, get teleported away. Although that might be really tricky to time. Elu got an ads. Yeah, ads are a thing, aren't they? They are a thing, making the internet go round. Oh, right, okay, that is my cup of tea, by the way. I'm finishing it off. Miss Snow says, went through your blog last year, but only recently been able to see them live. Awesome, awesome. It's nice to know that people, like, have a look through and get some utility out of it. That's cool. For me, it has like two purposes. One is to get music off my chest, which I love. The other one is to be able to, like, use it as a music journal and look back and, like, remember. And find things, and oh my god, it's such a blessing for both of those. Oh yeah, you can like double up. I remember when that was like a thing in Minecraft. It was a big deal. It was like, oh my god, this new block can have like 2 faces. Yeah, it's a very soft illumination, but it helps. It helps just a little bit. I'm a lonely Minecrafter in my 30s looking for a server to play. Any suggestions of good places to start looking? Well, if you're subscribed here, you get access to our Let's Play Minecraft Together server. Any type of subscription, so if you've got Amazon Prime lying around, you can use that as well. Oh, that's interesting. Why would that not be waterlogged there? Actually, I think I know why. It's because I had done some building and repositioning and stuff, and maybe the source blocks didn't come back. Yeah, we got an amazing community full of talented players. They're very welcoming. If you want to join them, ask in the chat. They'll point you in the right direction and stuff. Blooming says LPMT is the best. Completely unbiased opinion right there. Completely unbiased. Peeps having a fireworks show this midday to celebrate LPMT4's 1-year birthday. Yes, I noticed lots of people were online yesterday. 1 year old. And this is a server, by the way. It doesn't reset every year. One of the philosophies, if you like, is that it's a longer lasting server, let's say. You know, many years for each season. And people do crazy stuff at that time. Oh my god, look how deep it goes here. I might actually go for something quite vertical then. Just like that. It's going to be really obvious, though, where the terraform stuff is. But I'm fine with that. Figure out the rest of that later. That's going to require a lot of mud now. A lot of mud. Also, is this a Mumbo mess that's been left behind? We'll clean it up for Mumbo. Right. Let's keep placing blocks. Hi, Xisuma. First time chatter here. Been a fan of Hermitcraft for a long time. Well, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Anyone here because of yesterday's snapshot video? It feels to me like it's a good idea to use the snapshot to announce the next stream. It's just sometimes it's just tricky for me to make those plans. And usually I was like, well, I'm not going to stream on a Tuesday because I've uploaded a snapshot, right? But actually, kind of works out pretty well. You can let people know, hey, I'll be live later, and sometimes we have more peeps tuning in as a result. Any tips on terraforming? Depends what type you're doing, but yeah, I've definitely got experience and information to share on that one. What's for food today? Well, I had myself a nice yogurt and fruit breakfast with some like seeds and berries and stuff. Sunday roast because it's Sunday, and then in the evening I'll make myself a salad. And finish watching the end of Better Call Saul. On the very last episode now. You watched the snapshot video when you got up for work at midnight. Ah, right. You finished it 3 weeks ago. Better Call Saul, right? Such a good show. After my recent trip to Japan, where would I like to visit next? Oh my god, anywhere really. I love traveling, and it's like such a privilege to be able to do that. And there's definitely some places I'd enjoy more than others, but I tend to not have like a thing on my mind that I'm just buzzing to go to. Like, there's so many places that are interesting that would be really cool to visit, so kind of like anywhere. Man, Saul was so good. I love Kim's character, says Swatted Mead. That is a very common takeaway, I think, from watching that show. Like, everyone loves Kim. She's such a, like, well-crafted character. Let's get this one. You finished Pluribus. What a show. I guess maybe I should do that next. I don't know. I was thinking about doing a rewatch of The Wire. And getting, like, a HBO subscription for a month or something. Ow, Z's! Leave me alone, son. When you come over to this area, you start to get drowns more. I think it might be because of how deep the river was. Another thought that crossed my mind was, like, creating, like, a cutoff point on the river. But then I'd end up building a massive, like, floor bed for the river. Which I didn't really want to do. I don't think there's... look, we just saw it spawn into existence. Maybe putting some lights down there might help with that issue. It's something we can look into later on, but for now... Ah! See what I mean with the terraforming thing? Like, we have to come down so far with the mud blocks. It's almost like maybe it's actually worth doing a little bit of that. Like, what if around here we start to build it up a touch? Oh, whoa, that's a dodge. That's a get the heck away. Oh! The tridents, man, they're brutal. All I got is, like, copper armor, man. Leave X alone. Where you at, homie? Wait, I heard it again. There it is. It's somewhere here. Okay. And then you're dead. Dude, did it just die? It just died. I don't... Did it shoot itself? That's the only thing I can think of. How does it die? Ah. We'll finish you off, sucker. How does it die? If I turn on my rendering for light levels, I'm not sure light levels is actually on. It could be off. If I turn on that rendering though, I should be able to see. I definitely see it on the surface. Hang on, that's how we test, right? So like, nope, wrong button. Use this. Yeah, it's on, but you can't really see where drowns can spawn underwater with it. Okay. Okay. Conduit. Oh, chat, you are genies. The conduits attack mobs. I forget that. I forget about that. I've always wanted to do a farm with that as well. I always thought it would be super cool to use that technology in a farm. Oh yeah, that. Okay, actually, it's not really a bad thing if it doesn't quite line up with what's above, does it? Just probably makes it feel a bit more natural, if anything. We have to come back here and bone meal this as well. Like, give it some seaweed and stuff, but one thing at a time. Okay, that's that. Now we do the mud. Now that I've done a little bit like this, I kind of feel like maybe actually it's the way to make the whole thing shallower. Like, maybe in the next section, we'll just put dirt across at this level. What do you think? Some of you didn't know that conduits attack mobs. Well, you know, I knew, but I kind of forgot, and then chat reminded me. It's totally a thing, and you can actually stack the amount of conduits that attack the mobs in water. I really should, one of these days, make a farm with that. Just, I'd have to think about, like, which farm would best suit that purpose. I also have a feeling if we lower the floor here, won't we have less drowns coming through and stuff? Like less drowns spawning because they tend to spawn deeper down, further away from like the light level and stuff. I could really do with just moving some of these materials over to where we are now, actually. Yeah, like let's bring a box. Let's bring these 2 boxes. That one. This one here. We'll put a little bit of lichen in it. The scaffolding I'm kind of done with for now. And then we'll sleep in the beds. Mama Goose says it shouldn't be so hard to get Nautilus shells. Well, if you watched my latest episode of Hermitcraft, you'll know it's easy, right? I mean, it was pretty darn easy for me to get Nautilus shells now. If you have a conduit above ground, they also attack mobs when it rains. Yeah, that's right, yeah. You need you a naughty farm too. They're good, they're good. Gotta love the Minecraft music, right? Beautiful stuff. Trident's going to be shot out of a dispenser or something. That would be a funny obstacle. I was thinking that. I was thinking about using, like, arrows or something. But I don't really want to hurt the Nautilus. You can already hurt yourself by landing on the drip leaves. So you can take damage during the race. Which is a bit of a hazard. We got Jay Gary here for 28 months. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate your subscription. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Having a good time. Thank you so much, my dude. Oh, I made a mistake there. I see. Tipped arrows. What, so they like heal as well? That's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. Not a bad shout at all. So a tipped arrow that heals them. As you know, I'm never really too much of a fan of doing stuff like that because then you got to build like a whole supply chain for restocking and stuff. But one of these days I'll find an idea where it's enough to make me want to do it. You know, where the idea is good enough where I'm like, actually, we really want to add something like that. All right, so on this side now, I think we're gonna change tactic a little bit. Start to use a lot more dirt. And I want this to actually start kind of around where the dirt is here. So we're gonna start at like this level. And come down here and build around this bit. Am I nuts, or is that mud sound wetter underwater? It might do. There's so much like depth to sound design in this game these days. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a little thing where placing it underwater had its own little sound. That would be a very Minecrafty thing to do, I think. Right, I think I want these contours to be a little more guided by something over on these edges, right? Yeah. Let's get a little extension of that. And the next one's over there. This will work. We'll make this work. My streams make you calm. Well, I'm glad they can be of help. I'm concerned as to why not calm to begin with, right? You wish they made the Shulker anti-gravity effect a potion with tipped arrows. That would be so much fun, wouldn't it? So much fun. Okay, I think what we'll do here is start building that mud wall downwards, because I'm probably only going to go as far as the mud for now. Don't need to go much further than that. Here, though, this thing's going to go deep, isn't it? Anti-Brint, welcome to the stream. This mud sound is kind of wet. Actually, kind of sounds the same. If it is different, it's only mildly. It's not a big difference. I'll say that. See, we're using loads of this stuff right now. Absolutely loads of it. I'm gonna need so much dirt to do this whole thing. Oh my god, where am I gonna get it from? I'm actually gonna go, like, I think just rummage through some other hermit's chests at this point. Try and find someone who's got like a stupid amount of it. And just assume that they probably don't actually want it, you know? Or need it. And then later on find out that I've ruined their plans for the season or something. One thing I don't want to do is go and dig up dirt from somewhere. Because I know every season there's always some hermit, and it's usually me, that has just stupid amounts of dirt in chests. And ironically, earlier I started throwing it away. I was like, I can't be bothered to pick this up. Never use all of it, right? In fact, I think we did that on a stream, right? We were doing some terraforming over near gems. And I was just letting it all despawn. I'm not going to need that again. What are you on about, I was saying? And it's always, ironically, pretty much straight away you're going to need it. Mud is annoying to make. Not once you build a little farm for it. Then it's kind of like pretty straightforward and easy, I think. Right, that's all I'm doing for that bit for now. Because this is far more about... Oh my god, this is going to be so much work. It's so big. Maybe this one will be a lot shallower. Yeah, we'll make this one even shallower. Like it starts at this kind of height. And then over here, maybe when you're around this side, comes back up a block. Have a shallow bit here on the sides. Go back down again. There's other bits that need fixing up as well. Like further ahead, there's going to be a bit of terrain like this that needs closing off. Sometimes you listen to Minecraft music on Spotify to go to sleep. Some of the tracks are quite dreamy, aren't they? This one being one of them, I guess. Using max volume right now. You love it when you stream the music is so calming. Yeah, it's just the Minecraft music. Hey, Siberian Wolf, thanks for gifting a sub to Ebony Wolves. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you for your generosity. I hope you enjoy the stream, my dude. And Ebony, be sure to say thanks in the chat. I think we're starting to run out of dirt again. Nope, we've still got another stack. I heard a drowned-like sound. This will make doing the terraforming downwards on these sides kind of easier in the long run, actually. Think about it. Because now the terrain's a little bit higher over there. Ebony says thank you. Awesome, my dude. Love to see it. Right, that's that bit here. And the main goal was just to kind of like get to that side over there and build the mud down. I think we'll have it drop a block just before we get to this bit. Oh look, another drowns. That's why we're doing this. We don't want drowns in our race course. No siree. 2 of them. How rude. Fellas, I'm building. Rude. I'm glad that you don't have a trident. Hey, I bet they could spawn in that ravine and then just head out of there. Like, spawn in the darkness and swim over to where the player is, so need to cut that off. We got some cheers and biddies from Eros Sinclair. Thank you so much, Eros. Appreciate it. Hey, X, I'm going to doodle in my sketchbook. What should I draw? Draw yourself doodling in a sketchbook with a bubble coming from your head saying, what should I draw? Oh my god, this is bad news. Oh my goodness me. Got to get the heck away from that sucker. I'm serious, man. Go Inception style. And then the thing that you're drawing on that sketchbook, that's got to be the same thing again, just, you know, 10 times smaller because it's on the little sketchbook. And in the little sketchbook that appears in that sketchbook, that's when you get out of the microscope. No, I'm joking. Haven't got the animation folder back. Nope. No reply to the ticket. Don't know why they haven't replied yet. Elixir of Life likes the idea. It is a cool idea, isn't it? I like the idea. I'm still getting shot at. I mean, why wouldn't I? It's not like the drowned despawned, I guess. I think it's in the other section, though, so we're good to continue. Oh, no! Oh, no! This could be bad. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I got 6 pieces of dirt. I went all the way back and didn't get more. You've done that before, drawing yourself. It's funny and entertaining. This is Prime Girl Frost. for a second there, I thought that might have been Eros. And then I thought, now you got to draw yourself pointing at the picture and going, I've done that before. Right, let's place more blocks. Actually, let's get rid of a few more bits of junk. And then place more blocks. Something here reminds you of burgers. Interesting. Hi chat, I wanted to make a farm for clay bricks, but I won't go down the rabbit hole, and there are automatic dirt farms. There was this guy on YouTube who went through the whole process of making one from a stone generator. A stone one with no cobble to moss, then convert that into a large spruce tree. It's crazy how he got the whole thing to work. I thought you were making like an ironic comment about my rooted dirt farm that ended up being a clay farm. But you're not, because I didn't use a spruce tree. So, I don't know if that's just an ironic incident, but you can make a clay farm. It's not the hardest thing ever. You've got the Season 10 world download, so you could go look at my farm and rebuild it. Let's go down one more layer. And then build around here. That's all right, isn't it? I think that works. And then there's some other existing land already here. All right then. All right then. Chat, we know what we're doing. We're building. We're placing blocks. Should we have a talkie topic? Anyone got anything they want to hear about? Something on your mind? You love my videos. Glad to hear it, Alfred. Glad to hear it. X, can you pick out what I'm having for dinner tonight? Have something healthy. Have a salad. How's that? Is that what you wanted to hear? Possibly not. But that's what I'm suggesting. Because I'm having salad later. What's my favourite colour? Oh my goodness me. Oh, what a deep, insightful, intellectual question. What frequency of light do I most enjoy bouncing into my eye drums? Oh. Into my retinas. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm getting a little bit too excited now. Oh, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Jeez. You love the favourite colour question. It's a classic. It's timeless. Life's greatest discussions come from asking one's favourite colour. You know? Stop sassing and answering, please. Never! I will never stop the sass. If you want to know my favorite color, it's oh, excuse me. One second. Oh dear, my throat. What were we talking about? I forgot. X started the sassy man apocalypse. It's an apocalypse now. We got a Cuplex in chat? I see someone saying lol Cuplex, but I don't see Cuplex. How do we feel about not owning PCs, instead streaming what we play from a central server on to a more limited hardware? Jimmy, great question. I like it. That's a topic I can talk about. We've seen this already happen with streaming platforms, right? Okay. Now, me and my mates, back in the day when we used to hang out all the time, we used to go down to Asda and buy DVDs and watch movies together, right? And here's the thing, I still have this impression, even though many years have rolled by, and it is now the future, and in general things cost more because of inflation, I still feel like I save a ton of money by streaming on Netflix, and I know without a shadow of a doubt I save an extraordinary amount of money by using Spotify instead of buying records. So from a monetary perspective, I genuinely think that streaming is much better for consumers in terms of the bottom line and your pocket. But that doesn't seem to be the sentiment. The sentiment seems to be that people feel like they're overpaying for these services. So as someone who was around from a time before they existed, I don't feel that's accurate. I actually feel like you get a really good deal, the amount of content you get. Maybe so much of a deal that it's bad for the people on the other end, like the artists making the music, or the people making movies and stuff, right? So, perception isn't reality, and who's to say what the reality it is of how expensive it actually is, but I know for sure it is cheaper for me to stream, and it does depend on how much content you consume, right? It does depend on that. There's always multiple factors to these things. Yo, Cuplex, thank you for 106 months. What's my third favorite color? Oh my god, I forgot to say what my favorite color was, and my second. We'll get back to the favorite color question, because I know some of you are like, X, shut up about streaming, it's not interesting. Talk about color. I hear your complaints. We'll get back to it in just a moment. First of all, there's that way of looking at it, right? Well, there's a great question from Haggis. What happens when Spotify goes belly up? So that's one of the downsides of streaming, is like, if it falls apart, what happens to all your music? And it's something I'm kind of concerned about, because I value listening to music so much, and it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, the idea of just like one day, you open up your phone or your app and it's like, hey, Spotify's no more. Sorry, what about all the music I love, all my favorite tracks? I used to have all of that myself, and it was very expensive because I listen to a lot of music. Same for TV shows and stuff. Now, I am less passionate about TV shows that I watch than I am music. So for me, I have more of a, I'll happily watch a TV show, I'll happily watch movies. There's not as many that I'll watch over and over again. And of the few that I do like to go back and watch over and over, I actually own them. Like, I brought Deep Space Nine on Blu-ray. Well, actually, I got it for Christmas as a gift. However, am I going to use it anytime soon? I don't know. When I just rewatched it on Netflix. I love that show so much. I've got The Next Generation as well. It feels right to me to have that in case something ever changes. I've still got like a copy of it that I can go and watch and enjoy again, right? But that's not the same with my music, and I value my music more. Now a lot of it's locked up into Spotify's ecosystem. So Yeah, definitely interesting that. But I think as life goes on, I'm less and less materialistic, and I'm more about experiences. And so for me, it feels like the experience of enjoying music. Let's say I did lose access to my Spotify stuff. Yes, that would be a bit of a gut punch. I'd probably still be able to pull like lists of your favorite tracks and stuff. When these services disappear, they tend to try and do things in a way where customers can, you know, kind of get that information or the last bits of value out of it. So you'll probably be able to get like lists of all the stuff you've listened to and favorite tracks, and then you can kind of that way keep it in mind, right? It'd be hard for me to like realize that I can't just go listen to the album I enjoyed 7 years ago or whatever again because it's no longer on Spotify or whatever. But I'm more experientially driven now, so it's less about like having the thing and more about the fact that I listened to it and enjoyed it. And I'd imagine you just migrate and move forward to something where, okay, well now I'm on this platform enjoying all of this music, you know? So I'm less about ownership, I guess. What about YouTube Music? I don't actually use that, but I've heard good things about it. YouTube's an interesting one because I've watched tons of content on it, but I'm not exactly a big like rewatcher of YouTube content. We would just go back to MP3/MP4. I got news for you. That's what you're using when you listen to music on Spotify? You're just streaming MP3? With video, they've moved on a bit. Well, the original MP4 codec is still used quite commonly, but it's the file name is also like a housing for different formats. So you might have an MP4 file, but it uses a different codec. And some of the video codecs like have updated in recent years and are quite impressive with how much more compression they squeeze out of it. Now, the original question, if you remember, was about this happening to gaming. That's why I started it with like music and video, because we've already seen that happen. And again, I think the same argument applies of if you value the experience of playing a video game, it ain't so bad. If you want the ownership of the object and the permanence of that, then it's obviously more desirable to own than to stream, right? I'm not as attached to video games, so I'd be quite happy streaming them, I think, as long as the service was good. All of this speaks nothing to the ideas of like the business practices of the streaming companies, and you know, these things can be done in favorable ways for consumers and unfavorable ways. It's often like different per company and stuff. So that's a whole other discussion, right? When and if it actually happens. There is a little bit of a theory I have, right? Oh, let's hop up here. There's a big data center build out at the moment. And if the whole AI gamble kind of fails and we have a lot of data centers lying around not getting used, I think other companies are going to come in and scoop up that infrastructure and use it for something. And considering that actually hardware prices of computing have been inflated because of this, when the AI bubble pops, I'm not sure that means that all of a sudden your hardware prices for computer goods are going to go back to normal. With food prices historically go up and just never come back down. With other things, economically speaking, sometimes prices go up and come back down again. If that happens with computer hardware, you'll have to wait and see. But let's say worst case scenario, prices are kind of locked in permanently at a higher amount now. Then it might be that the two combine and conspire. It's a conspiracy. This whole AI thing was just to get game streaming going. You know, and that makes total sense because Google are involved in AI and they never did something called Stadia in the past. So, you know, that's totally valid. Yeah, if it's if that happens, right, like computer hardware prices go up, but now you can stream games. I could see a post AI bubble boom of like streaming games, and potentially some really cool stuff could do with that, because Google promised some technology with the Stadia that was really fantastic. I really rooted for the Stadia. I thought that this was just like the logical next step, and maybe they tried to do that a little too soon, right? Certainly didn't feel like they gave it enough of a chance. They tried to compete with PlayStation and stuff, and they didn't really stick at it for very long. You know, it kind of came and went rather quickly, and I think they could have done a lot better with the Stadia. But some of the ideas I love are just how like save states can be kind of instantly shared, and other people could jump in, or you could be like watching a streamer and jump into their game. You could be watching a YouTube video and like recreate the moment that they're in. There could be metadata attached to gaming content on YouTube where like the state of the game as you're playing it is part of the video, and then someone else can be like, hey, I want to jump in right where they're at right now and like play from here. And in creative games like Minecraft, I mean, can you imagine just hopping into like an episode of a Minecraft Let's Play that you're watching and just experiencing that world from where they're at right there? There's definitely room for some very interesting ideas if we move to gaming for streaming. You could also argue some of this stuff could be deployed without the need for streaming, but Stadia proposed those ideas with streaming, and it could totally work. It could totally be a thing, and it would probably lead to like new types of game and gameplay as well, because when you put technology like that in the hands of creative people, they will see uses that the technologists didn't, and then you might just get like new types of game that emerge because of this, like maybe even like psychological games or scavenger hunt games or something, like meta games that exist across multiple interactive experiences, because you're just opening up like a toolbox of possibilities by letting, you know, YouTubers say upload a video where the audience can like click a link and jump into a gaming environment, maybe even with that particular streamer involved as well. You're playing Awakening right now on your laptop, and you have about 6 or 7 states at any one time. I don't know what Awakening is, but the fact that it has multiple states sounds kind of interesting. Like sometimes I will play Minecraft with multiple instances open. Like I'll have a camera account on, or I'll be using a farm on Hermitcraft while I'm in my creative world, like doing some engineering on another screen, you know? And in fact, I seem to recall there was a time when I, like, for one reason or another, had loads of Minecraft instances open at once, and then, like, made a little video relating to it. I think it was when I was first exploring the whole clicker/AFK tech, and I made some video where I had, like, 4 or 5 Minecrafts open at the same time in the video, just to show off what was possible, you know? Link's Awakening is a Zelda game. Ah, okay, cool. I've never played Zelda. For me right now, gaming has really shifted to a very low priority for me. Games are always going to be alluring, and Zelda's one. I've heard so many people say great things about Zelda over the years. Like, if I put together a list, I don't know where Zelda would be on that list, but I was about to press the button to play the emote, but we don't have that anymore, do we? Sad faces. Sad faces. No emotes. It's just gone so, like, mentally so far down the priority list to play games. And there's quite a few, and I see them advertised. I see new ones coming out. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. But I just know that creativity is the place I need to go. I just get this weird, like, guilt from self-indulgence where there isn't like an end result to what I'm doing. So right now this isn't a self-indulgent activity to me, because it's part of like creating an experience, like a live stream. Y'all are enjoying this. We're doing something together. We're being creative. We're interacting with other hermits in this world, building an amazing place together. All of that is like super creative and positive and like what I'm looking for. And a lot of the time when playing games, a lot of them are like solo activities where you're just like sequestered away doing your own little thing, and like when you turn the game off at the end of it, it's like nothing's changed. So it's kind of like a switch that's been turned lately, because the creative thing that I know I want to be doing more of is music, and this just doesn't, playing games just doesn't advance that in the slightest. So it's like play a game or practice piano and write some music, it's always going to be the latter. And it means I'll miss out on a bunch of cool games, but like, that's everything in life, right? There's loads of cool things going on all the time. You feel that so hard, the constant feeling of needing to have what you are doing mean something, or be with something, says Eros Sinclair. Worth something, yeah. Yeah, well, here's the thing, like, first of all, don't let it be too much of a burden on yourself. Let's not pretend it's like something easy to answer and you just haven't figured it out. It's a really difficult thing for people to figure out. And for me, I've had the blessing and the fortune of finding this by mistake, what I currently do for a living. That's not something everyone gets, you know? Not everyone gets that break to figure out something that means a lot to them. The other thing is, like, not give up the search, though, right? Like, always have your eye out, and always try and follow that voice in your head that's trying to point you in the right direction or whatever. Because a lot of the time in life, things are like cake, okay? Cake ain't good for you. You know this. You should be having that slice of cake. What are you doing? That's not nutritious. That's full of sugar. You don't want that in your body, right? But you get the reward straight up. Ah, you know, yum, tasty cake. You do that all the time, you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to have a big old belly, you're going to feel out of shape, not as much energy, you know? But then you know the thing you should be doing is exercising, eating right, and that's the hard thing. Where's the reward for that? You don't get that little dopamine rush, right? The reward for that is, you know, further down the line. And that's what I feel like it can be like if you have that feeling and you're looking for something, is that the weight of it can make you want to just take that shortcut. It's not even a shortcut. It makes you want that distraction, you know, that like, oh, I'll just do this other thing, right? Whereas searching for the meaning and trying to find the thing that adds up in the long run can be really hard. And doing the thing that's like a distraction, entertaining yourself, taking your mind off of it, that's the easy thing. That's eating the cake. And like figuring out what exercise you should be doing for your meaning, that's really tricky. It's really tricky to figure out. Siberian Wolf says, nothing wrong with the occasional cake, though. It's just like everything in life, don't overdo it. Yeah, I think, though, sometimes people's definition of, like, occasional and overdoing it, you know, might not be as in tune as it should be. Cake is good in moderation. For me, like, everyone's probably got a number in their head. Honestly, I would say like a big fat piece of cake, you know, maybe a couple of times a year. Like that's, to me, that's moderation. But I know some of y'all will be thinking like once a week. And there's probably no wrong or right answer, but other than the one that works for you. The only problem with that is that this stuff is very counterintuitive because it's very Moorish. One a day, says 8 Prover. Oh my goodness me. No. No. Oh, you're making me cry. First time watching a stream, Cybergamer. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is the thing about that, like, you know, it's okay in moderation, but then when we come down to like numbers, we might find out we have extremely different numbers, right? Also, not all cakes are created equal, and I've been technically you could say I've been eating cake a lot recently, right? Because I've been baking my own 0 sugar dark chocolate and egg cake. I say dark chocolate, it's actually black chocolate. They're, like it's zero, it's just pure cocoa. There's no sugar in it, right? But like the point to me there is that I don't know what the baking does to the process of all that nutrition and stuff, but like eggs are very nutritious, and dark chocolate is, or should I say black chocolate, the cacao, right, is known to be good for you. It has health benefits and stuff. That sounds delicious. I love dark and black chocolate, says the mossy mouth moth. I'll give you a heads up, right? I wouldn't say it's so much delicious as it is it basically becomes a savory cake, right? And it's not savory as in like salty and fatty, like something like a sausage roll might be. Like you enjoy a sausage roll. It's very plain cake, but very strong dark chocolate flavor. If you're attuned to that, you can enjoy it. I tend to enjoy it mixed with something a little bit sweeter to go along with it, you know. Powerboss says, your talks are so good sometimes. I see you were talking about removing distractions from my life. No multitasking, so I unsubscribed from you because this is a distraction. But I couldn't stay away. Honestly, I am literally like... I say this all the time, and I don't think people quite cotton on. I don't watch other people stream much, other than maybe some Hermitcraft streams, right? And that tends to be when I'm playing on the server. You know, we all need a little bit of entertainment. We got to pick and choose some of that, right? But that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, pick and choose and figure out what's really valuable with your time. Because I'm taking your time away from you right now, right? Personally, I feel like this conversation has value, and will hopefully make up for that. But sometimes we watch stuff that isn't of value. I know, because I do it. Very much less these days, but every now and then I get into like a bit of a funk, and I just want to kind of like listen to some nonsense or whatever, right? It's hard to chalk up, but every now and then I'll find myself like watching stuff or enjoying stuff with like no real intent, and then my brain's like, you could be practicing piano right now, and it's like, oh yeah, I should be doing that. Like, why am I doing nothing with my time right now? I should be advancing this other ambition, you know, desire, meaning that I have. I can't give you the answers. You've got to figure it out for yourself what's what, but like, I just want to make people aware of that. Mans, you are a background noise while I draw. Well, you're drawing. I love that. I can't fault drawing. If someone says, your background noise while I'm eating cake, you know what X does. Oh, God. Here he goes again. But drawing, man, that's creative. I love creativity. I think, look, not everyone is a creative person, but I think if you do something creative with your time, that can't be a bad use of your time. That's a beautiful thing. To create, to be creative. But hey, tell me I'm wrong. Like, some people out there probably maybe don't get anything out of being creative, right? Which is interesting, because we're not all the same, but I understand creativity, and to me that would be like an amazing use of one's time, just to be creative in whatever form it is. Minecraft's creative, right? Says SRG. Yeah, it is for the most part. It depends on what you're doing. I would say stuff like speedrunning isn't particularly creative, or parkour. They're more traditional, you know, challenging yourself games, if you like. But like, if you're building or engineering, that's another thing I think is creative. I think it definitely is. I think puzzle solving is creative. because you have to like create the solution to a puzzle, right? It's a different type of creativity, and sometimes it can be a lot more rigid and narrow, but sometimes it can be quite expansive, like creating redstone contraptions. So I think that redstone is creative, and redstone's a part of Minecraft. Building in Minecraft is 100% creative. Right, I'm going to log out. Actually, I don't need to log out. I just need to finish my recording. I'm going to time-lapse some of that somehow into, like, a time-lapse. I'm probably just going to do little camera bits of me building, like, chopped together so we can sort of say, like, hey, I did a bunch of stuff underground. Like, if you try and... I've noticed if you try and show every single block that you place, you end up with this weird sort of, like, annoyance as you move around the world of, like, you want your time-lapse to be really smooth, but you keep having to travel to go pick up some supplies you forgot about. Like, you don't have to show every block being placed. You can, like, cut around a lot, and I think you can get across the vibe of, like, hey, I did all this stuff, right? Without showing every single block. So my time-lapse is definitely going to lean into that side of things. Without a shadow of a doubt. Let's assess a little bit here. So in order for me to continue, I basically need to get my hands on dirt. And I need y'all's help now, because I'm going to do this, right? One of my goals this season is to be a little bit more cheeky, right? Normally in the past, I wouldn't do things like punch Jevin off the side, right? That's rude. But now I do things for the sake of fun. This time, I'm going to do something that I'm pretty sure will be all right. It usually always is. You always want to ask, but dang, I need to crack on and get on with some stuff today, right? So I want to find a hermit who's got loads of dirt, and for that hermit to be someone who we're pretty sure doesn't need that dirt for anything, right? I'm not going to go visit Scar because Scar's doing massive terraforming. XB, however, tore down a mountain, and that probably means there's a lot of dirt left over somewhere, right? So I reckon XB would be like, you need some dirt? I mean, he's fed XB, right? This is the perfect person to steal from. That is not as much dirt as I thought. But we need a lot. I'm going to take a shulker box from XB and hope that that isn't a hindrance to him. Jevin is actually low on dirt. I've spoken to Jevin. Some of y'all are saying Scar. Not Scar. Scar does a lot of terraforming, right? Tango used dirt on the mountain. Yep. So, like, we won't take from Tango. Forgil says, we told you to pick up dirt the other day and you refused to, now you're stealing. I've been over this. I've been over the irony of, like, every season I have chests full of dirt I never use, right? And then all of a sudden I decide, right, I'm just going to let it despawn on the ground. Of course, a few days later will be the next time that I need it. Why wouldn't it be? That is a hanging llama. Just going to let it hang out there. Try Joel. Joel might have been another good one because he's done some terraforming. I don't know if Joel has any plans to build more, like with the dirt or not, though. Okay. Oh, we need to sleep in a bed. I think I need to bring my bed with me because I'm losing out on doing stuff by, like, flying back and forth a lot. By the way, we had a noise in the ear 20 minutes ago, and I kept looking across at it, and I was like, I'll read that in a minute. I can't remember if I did. Jesse WP124, thank you for 3 months. If you're still there, you know, thank you so much. If you've tuned out, you're like, this guy don't even reply. Well, you're gone now, so, you know. It is what it is. FedExB helping out without being online. Yep, that's FedExB. Offline delivery. Before we continue, I think I'm going to nip to the loot. I might make a second cup of tea. I feel that's a bit cheeky. Do I need? I could go for one. I mean, I could always go for a cup of tea, right? I'll boil the kettle and make my mind up in a minute. You're going to report me to the admins of Hermitcraft. Please don't. Who's the admin of Hermitcraft again? Who is that guy? I don't know. Anyway, I'll be right back, people. Oh, no, I won't. I'll stay right here. No, check this out. Check out the flag. Right, I'll be right back. Right, cup of tea has been made. Let's do that. Another plug while we wait. Jesse says, what's with the hermits being absolutely ripped? What are they eating? If you're ripped, you're probably eating less calories than you're burning. That's the trick. That's the trick. I used to have a big fat belly. I don't anymore. Over time, can't do it in one day. It takes years. You're just eating, I don't know, 100, 150 calories less each day than you expend. And, you know, it goes away. The belly fat goes away. What's the optimum brewing time? Well, the brewing time is like how long does it take your kettle to boil, right? Like optimum temperature, I think, would be the thing to think about for like your cup of tea. What's the tea's flavour? I've gone for an Assam. And Americans don't have kettles. Right. Right. I'm going to slowly back away. I don't understand. Yo, Pixel Punk, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Appreciate it. I'm going to go and finish making the tea. All right, cup of tea done. Cup of tea done. Let's get back to it, shall we? I was thinking. Do we like fully conclude our conversation about streaming games? I should probably let's take some thoughts from chat about streaming games. How about that? What's Tunnel Rats? Tunnel Rats is a game that I made with Plagiatus for the. Oh yeah, it's recording because we logged out. For the Minecraft Marketplace. Right, these bits over here, I think we'll leave as is because we got much of the racecourse in now, right? And that should block off some drowns from spawning. This bit over here is going to be a lot more work. Well, actually, it's kind of not because we're changing. Oh, that's interesting. Grian has all of this down here. So I guess we're gonna have to like blend some of this in, maybe? Start around this level. That is interesting. Get out of here, you scamp! Ugh. Yeah, we'll leave that little lip of spruce in. That looks nice. I think we're definitely gonna aim for like a lot lower level down here, but I can also see us sort of dragging it up to the dirt level. Like if we build over the top of the gravel, kind of something like this. And then just make up that distance. I think we'll probably figure it out. Yeah, that looks about right. So we can build away from that. But then there's this over here, right? I guess this is a bit more complicated here. We're gonna have to treat this like a lip that's overhanging. And then build up the top side after. Which I think that'll actually look really cool if you pay attention to it, because now this opening of Grian's base kind of has, yeah, a bit more going for it, I guess. I'm not going to go too close to the edge there, because I think he'll probably have plans. He can come in and, like, change all of this later on. But for now, we're sort of putting these blocks in place to kind of show what we're after, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, this will totally work. Right, and I asked for messages about gaming, and then it was like, oh, immediately distracted. Who would have thought? Slim Shady would have been something you would have bought. Yeah, gotta just eyeball a lot of this sometimes, right? Yeah, looks alright. Lines up with that there. Oh, that's a good point. Like, where's it all going around here? Because I like to cut off the gravel layer, don't I? Maybe I can make a tunnel through the non-existent support of Gems Ridge. I actually got something really cool for the end bit. Really cool that I want to add. Oh! Oh! I was trying to sip tea, son. I was trying to sip tea. And you've ruined that for me. X, do you think classic guitar is easier or harder than electric? Probably harder. Anyway, what about streaming games? Any thoughts or opinions on it? The drown just wanted to show his shell. It feels like it, doesn't it? Would it be hard to play for offline play? Yeah, it would. It would, because streaming would require an internet connection, right? Streaming games is good for people who don't have beefy PCs. I've also heard like an environmental argument made about it as well, where it's like if you have lots of people with individual beefy PCs, it'd be better to like offload the compute remotely. I'm actually like really in favor of that. It definitely makes sense to me. The way scaling and stuff works is like if you have a big beefy data center, right? It's going to be more efficient at distributing the computation to people when they need it than people having their own individual computation machines. Like that is just a better use of resources and therefore less environmental impact. But people will point out things like being, tied to some subscription fee, and now some company owns all your gaming and stuff. And I'm not saying any of that's invalid, but like environmentally, I think it does make sense that people would stream games. Anti-Brint says, I don't like the idea of streaming games. I take like 5 to 10 years finishing a game sometimes. My record SimCity save from 2008 is still ongoing. Yeah, but you're sort of assuming the worst of the streaming platform there, right? And when things are out of your hands and they go wrong, it can feel like, this is bad for streaming. But then sometimes we forget all the times that, like, you play a game and your save gets corrupted. Like, there are issues at all different levels. Let's say we talk about this on the idea that the streaming companies that run that service do it well and do it right. Kind of like a best case scenario, I think it's going to be better. Like, best case scenario would be they do it in a way where you get to keep those saves for a long, long time, right? And maybe you, rather than a subscription model, you play per compute. So, like, if you don't play a lot, you don't pay as much. It could be done that way. It probably wouldn't. With the way things are today, it would probably be done with some predatory practices that are not as favorable, but these things could be better. It's inevitable. It's like Netflix and DVD players. Honestly, you saying it's inevitable, I think you could be right. I could see it going that way. I could see it being ubiquitous one day. Games moved away from physical copies anyway, so it wouldn't make any difference. Just a shame games moved away from being offline. Yeah. That is a really bad practice. But once you get into streaming, then it really is just online or nothing, right? I think it might be more helpful for me to build this all up from this side here first. That's kind of what I'm looking at now. Get away, drowns, is literally why we're doing it this way. Is to get away from you. Oh my god, they're just all around here, aren't they? Is it night time? Has Green got a bed I can sleep in? Oh, a laze, how nice. Oh, this is cool. To me, or does that look like EFO? It's almost a little bit sus, but honestly, that looks like EFO to me. I like the allays. Oh my god, so many drowned. Kill them. Murder their souls. Oh, for goodness sake. They're just everywhere. Right. Did I hear a oh, trident time! No! Major dislike. It's a baby trident yielder. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh! Dang it! That's really, really bad. Let's get some backup gear. Kind of loading the area right now, aren't I? Gonna need a shield. I should put food in here, dang. Let's get all these things next to each other. F3B. Gotta do that. There's all the stuff. Yo, why is the swimming so jank right now? Okay, oh my god, just got some absolute jank swimming. Oh, do you know what? It's probably because I don't have my usual... what do we call it? Enchantments. Usual enchantments, you know. Some of those affect swimming, right? I think what I'll do is put that down. Offload some dirt and some other items into here. Okay, now I want my... Oh! Fella, please. What happened to the other fella? I hope that guy's gone. Right, there's a chicken up there. Don't need to worry about that. Alright, that might just be everything. Let's put on our superior armor. X's wings, the helmet. We got the bow. We got the pick, the sword, the shovel, the shield. I'm pretty sure we got everything back, right? Yeah. Don't see the little guy. Any other signs of itemage? I'm happy to say I think that's good. I think that's good. I think we got it all. So I'm going to take a break. Let's see what these items are here. I think it's mostly like rotted flesh that went to the surface, right? Looks like it. Copper ingots. Yeah, I think we're fine. Let's let's take off and have a break. I am going to drink this cup of tea. All right. Let's stay on topic here. Any other thoughts on streaming games? Do I have a shop planned for the season? Yeah. I built 3 shops so far. You feel like there are 2 types of hermits. The ones not wearing a shield and those that wear it but don't use it. Yeah, that sounds about right. I forget to use it. What exactly do you mean by streaming games? So, you know how you can stream music on Spotify or Netflix? You can stream games as well. Like, you can play games for a streaming service. Like, you're not doing the compute on your system. You're streaming it from a server that does all the compute. Let's do this. Let's put all the junk and armor away for now. Isn't there like extra rockets? There is. That's going to be much better for the near future, isn't it? Right, and then I think what I'll do is I'll put that box into my ender chest. And just take that one out. For now, forgot the pick, but whatever. Could be good, could be bad. Could be good and then get bad. Depends on if the CEOs are Arizona Tea or CEOs or Disney Plus. Yeah, it depends on who's running it. Netflix has games now, right? Are those streams or downloaded somehow? Never tried it myself. Good question. They could actually be downloaded and run client side. I'm not sure. They're kind of like mobile games, so they probably don't take a lot of computing power if they are. It's entirely possible that they run, you know, on your TV or wherever you're watching your Netflix. But not if they're like AAA games, and I've seen them advertised, and they don't strike me as being akin to AAA or anything like that, right? That's where you need the beefy computers, and you would do things through streaming, not on like hardware like you'd find on a television. Because televisions are computers too these days, remember? Yo, Northern Rose, thank you so much for 2 months, my dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time as we hang out and chat about games and streaming and all sorts of stuff, really. Did Netflix buy Warner Brothers? It got really close to them buying it. I even got an email from them about it, and then that story seemed to like fade away, as much as I know. Don't know what happened with that. I find it interesting that like people are really against Netflix buying Warner Brothers. I still think of Netflix as kind of like an underdog. And when I heard they were buying Warner Brothers and they were going to have HBO on the platform, I was like, oh, cool. Like, I know monopolies are bad. I'm not saying actually it's all right. I'm just saying it's interesting how I still think of Netflix as sort of like a smaller underdog company, whereas I think they're actually a juggernaut now, right? Because I remember when Netflix used to deliver DVDs. It would genuinely be peak to stream Elden Ring from random places. Yeah, you got a connection, you can stream. That's another thing about streaming, more remote gaming. Right, that's how we're going to do the mud on this side. Let's fill it all in. You remember going to the video shop? Me too, my dude. Blockbuster, right? Those were the days. I do miss that a little bit. I worry that technology, like, separates us a lot. Like, we had so much more... There was so much more people-to-people connection. And that technology is kind of like eroding the need for people in the middle. And that's going to affect us all socially. That's kind of my worry. You're old enough to be the TV remote. Before there was a TV remote, you had to get up and change the channel. Dang. Imagine that. Yeah, TVs don't have like buttons like that on them anymore. Maybe like behind the main thing they do as a fallback, but remotes might disappear as well. You might just access your TV through your smartphone, right? That sounds like a thing they'd probably like to do. You're missing the ceremony you feel when you go to store to pick what to watch. Yeah, now that's like browsing on IMDb or something, right? And then checking which platform it's on. It's not quite the same. It was also time consuming. There's so much more like instant gratification available, yet a sense of like time moving faster and not having enough time. It's really strange dichotomy that emerges with all this technological innovation and stuff. You know, technology's supposed to connect us, but we're feeling more lonely and isolated than ever. It's like they're telling us it's going to connect us. You know, you can message your friends any time of the day, and then you won't go and see them anymore because you're always talking to them on your device. That kind of thing, you know. Unwoven Rainbow, thank you for the Prime, 72 months, which reminds me, it has reminded me we've got something to do. We'll do it after we've finished this section, though, because we should get this done right now. Got to finish it for the time lapse, right? For the time lapse. Welcome to the stream, Rainbow. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Bit of this, bit of that. think we've got something pretty good going on here. Just want to kind of transition it properly. Social media turned users into products with algorithms and metrics. It did, yeah. Big data, right? Big data. That's looking okay. It's ridiculous that new cars can come without any physical buttons, only touchscreens. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable with that. But like, maybe there was a time when someone said, like, it's ridiculous that cars now come with buttons and no physical bars and levers or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's technology, though. It kind of works a little bit like that. This does not look good from this angle, this bit here. This don't look right. China bans the electric door handle death traps. Oh. Not really heard too much about that. Let's put some blocks that like recess back here a little bit. Oh my god, go away! It's you again, but you haven't got your trident. Jeez, that guy hits. Yeah, I'm getting a new car real soon. It's interesting. I've had to drive my own car, like my current car, a couple more times recently, and I've sort of been feeling like maybe this car was more reliable than I was told. When I last talked about this, I talked about how my dad's a bit of a pessimist and, you know, your car's going to fall apart if you don't replace it kind of mindset, and I'm not so sure. But here's the thing. My next car, like, I am really going to look after that car well. The one that I got now, I kind of left it outside a lot when I could have parked it in the garage, and I kind of want my next one to last like 15 years, you know? Really take good care of it. Plus, I'm giving my car to a friend who really needs it at the moment, so like, it doesn't feel so wasteful because you know it's going for like a good cause. But it's not an EV, and if all of a sudden the EV transition picks up, that might be interesting. But I think even in 10 or 15 years, I wouldn't be surprised if like the petrol infrastructure is still really dominant, you know? Yeah, this end bit here with the bottom of that is going to be tricky because I got something planned for this bit. I think actually I can see with my mind's eye how I can make it work, so maybe not too big a deal. I also feel like around here we can just stick a lot closer to this like original terrain, perhaps. Does it have physical buttons, says 4Gil? My new car does, yeah. I'm not sure. It's got a screen in it. I know it doesn't have a reverse camera, which I'm fine with. The next model up does. I'm not sure if it has like Google Maps. It's got a screen. I think you can connect your phone, but I'm not sure if you can do that whole like have Google Maps run from your phone and display on the stream. I would like that. That would be a nice addition, but if not, it's not the end of the world. Like, there's all these, like, creature comforts that come with these cars, like heated seats and heated steering wheels. And the reality is, for the amount of driving that I do, it's rarely an inconvenience. It's rare that I'm in my car and the sort of environment of it is, like, a problem. It's once or twice a journey can be a bit uncomfortable. If I'm driving in it all the time, maybe those things are more valuable to me. So I don't really feel like I need that stuff particularly, but it'd be nice, of course. Now that we got more of this in, it does feel like that was probably the right way to do it. Green's got this nice area here. When we bone meal this, it's gonna give it a bit more life, I guess. The car mode on Google Maps is so good. If you have a place for your phone stand in your car. When you say car mode, do you mean the car... Wait, what are we talking about? Google Maps has a car mode. Like, I frequently use Google Maps on my phone while I'm in my car. It's on a little stand thing. And, you know, you pull up Google Maps and it gives you the directions and stuff. But what is car mode? Is it that or is it something different? Would you trust self-driving cars? I would. I'm a big advocate for transitioning away from human drivers. There's this really weird, I think, psychological thing that we have where we entrust technology and we feel like when technology goes wrong, it's a big problem. But we tolerate when humans go wrong. So, like, if there's a bunch of, you know, if there's like a fault or a malfunction with a electronic driving system, let's rewind on this a little bit. We're almost done here. I'll pause for thought and then articulate, because that's kind of like bit of a barrier we've hit now between this bit and whenever I get round to doing the rest of it. And I'm super happy with that. The shape of it is really cool. Looks like it could do with a couple more blocks just over here, perhaps. Yeah, that looks much better. Also, some of those things could be waterlogged. And that thing will be in my ender chest. Right, let's call this one time-lapse 2 and death. So I remember later that I died, and I'll put that in there and it'll be funny or something. Right, we want the water bucket, which is in there. So if I go over to these spots... Does that not work on a shelf? Interesting. Wait. Why is that not waterlogged? Is it like a visual bug? Is that just how stairs render? Wait, what's going on here? They're waterloggable, aren't they? That's not waterlogged. Click on it. There you go. They are waterloggable. So why did this one not waterlog? Oh, for good... Do you see what it did then? Wait, no, it actually fixed that one. Okay. Huh. It's only those two on that side that had an issue anyway. Oh, one down the bottom. Wait. Oh, wait, I know what to do. The shelf. If it's waterloggable, click there. Ah, fixed it. I fixed it. Nice. Okay. From here... Ah, you on the other side. We could put like bone meal down in this area. I think we'll do that. Let's go grab some more bone meal and do that. Let's keep getting stuff done. Okay, I'm gonna need to eat. I'm gonna need rockets. So the self-driving thing and technology in general, it's like introduce technology that does human tasks. Okay. Technology fails in a really strange way, and then we go, this is too dangerous, we don't want this, yada yada yada, right? So let's say we introduce self-driving cars, and every now and then the self-driving car will just plow into the other lane on a motorway, right? It will just go, oh, over there, bang, big crash, lots of people die. Horrible, I know. We will hate that. We will have that, like, different reaction to if you heard that, you know, there was a human driving, they were sleepy, they drifted into the other lane and crashed, right? we rationalize what's going on there a little different in our head to how we would if technology did it, right? The thing is, like, I think about this stuff statistically. So if it's like a 1 in a billion chance that the car does that, then how does that scale statistically? And when you do this, the idea is that the technology can be good enough that self-driving cars will statistically be safer across the board. Just less traffic incidents, less death, less damage. Even stuff like the condition of roads could become better because cars can be optimized to drive the safest, correct way, distribute the wear and tear across the surface. Like, there's just a crazy amount of like optimization that could be done that will, I think it's fair to say, really surpass human collective ability and get so much more out of roads and driving if they were automated, right? But then when the crashes happen, when things go wrong, we get really uncomfortable with it because it's technology, right? But we don't step back and think statistically about stuff that if you think of it as a trade-in, you know, overall, you have to tolerate, yes, the machine occasionally does this weird thing, malfunctions, and people die or whatever, but like we're already tolerating lots of death. Like, if you look up the statistics on vehicular homicide and crashes, like, there's actually like a lot of destruction that comes from driving. It's like a really like unsafe part of our society. All the societal norms, we just accept the speed limit is like this, we just accept you're allowed to drive at this age. If you replaced one for the other, I think you would find that the amount of fatalities, crashes would come down a heck of a lot, to the point where the trade-off is worth it. And it sounds strange to say, but even for that weird one wacky thing that it does every once in a while and seems to cause unnecessary death, that's part of a bigger trade-off where there are also big gains that are made by doing this, right? So I you know, that's why I'm for switching, and on the premise that we do it well. We don't cut corners, and you know, we make a good go at it. Let's now do this and put in some bone meal down here. Yeah, we kind of don't want it to look like I've just come in and put in like patches. You tend to see that a lot with this stuff. Like, you see where the patches are. Like, once I step back, it's like really obvious. Oh, you just went around and you bone milled that spot, you bone milled this spot. You missed a bit over here, you missed a bit over there. So what I think we need to do now is get some shears. Which I guess our access to them is through this. There we go. Whoa, where did that go? Oh, it went up there. So I think what we've got to do is go around, knock out these like dense bits a little bit, and then use the bits that we're harvesting just to kind of like spread it out a bit more. Maybe a couple too many tool ones there. It's also quite, at the moment, it's quite monotone. It's like you just got this green stuff. Like, what else can we mix it with underground, I think is another question. Underwater, even. Hello? The swim mode in this game, I've said it for ages, it feels like it needs a little bit of work still. There's a few movement things in this game where, like scaffolding, when you're wearing an elytra, like there's a few things like that where it just feels like Have Mojang played with this much? Because it's annoying and it could be fixed. It could be better. But yeah, suggestions. Mangrove roots. Interesting one. Yeah, that could definitely go in here. See, now that we've spaced it out a fair bit, it doesn't look quite as exclusive to the bottom where you can clearly see like I've just put down a splodge of bone meal or something, right? A few spots up here would look good. Looks about right. Sea pickles! Oh, dude, I wanted to put some lights down here. That's such a good suggestion. Oh my goodness me, I've got to build a sea pickle farm now, right? I remember trying to engineer a super weird sea pickle farm. I can't remember if I finished it or not. It might just be like out there in one of my little creative worlds lying around. Just this weird sea pickle farm. Oh look, this area is a bit scant, isn't it? Let's put a couple of bits there. Now, there's kind of like a not noticeable thing here, which is that the conduit effect means we don't really like embrace the light levels. Oh, that's weird. We don't want that. So I might like disable the conduit at some point and try and like see what it looks like without that. That's interesting. What other ideas? Mud spillover. Yeah, because we're working on mass, I think there's going to be a lot less... like, we're looking for the quick and fast methods, like not replacing blocks. So pickles is great. I'm actually going to make a note that I want to develop a pickle farm now. And let's remember to save this as... And that's G for agreeing, because we did the bit outside his. Okay, right. Made a little note. Let me make a note about the time-lapse as well. Like, I make lots of notes, and then sometimes just start recording without looking at them, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, you forgot about that. So I need to keep on top of this stuff. Right. We haven't done any of the above-ground terraforming. Let me make a note of that as well, because I'm going to forget. There's so much to do. One thing I think I will do right now, though, is... I think it's in our ender chest. Glow lichen. I want to finish placing those. Right, and I just thought of another note to put on my notepad. Yeah. Oh, so much to do here. I'm really into this project now. Today really got me into it. Like, it was all very last minute, because I thought I had a month more to go. And now that we've spent some time just putting the shape of the rivers together, getting it further along, I'm actually, like, really happy with my whole area bit here. But lots more to do. You like the custom helmet? Looks great. Thank you, my dude. Do you know what? I just realized something that I've forgotten. Quite important. Okay. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. We're on track. How about some boulders? Yeah, it just depends on time now, like, for that kind of stuff. Like, I did start this with the intention of making it so that my race course didn't rely on building big stuff around it, right? Then it turned out that we need to, like, also transform the river, so that took a lot of time. Otherwise, that time could have gone into doing some boulders and stuff, but... Yeah, unfortunately, because I goofed on the time, this isn't like a 110% effort project. This is like a... You know, the gameplay is 110%. The jumping over these drip leaves is, like, really fun. They make a great obstacle. And there's a lot of skill involved in it. And I think, like, competitive skill racing against other hermits. So I'm really stoked with that aspect of it. As for just decoration and aesthetics, it's like whatever I can do, basically. Get all the basics in, put in some polish, and like see where we're at after that. 103% project, yeah. Okay, that's all the liking done. Right, that brings me to the next part of the stream where we're going to go hop on to the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. Now, you may recall I said earlier that any type of subscription gets you access to this server. Today, we're going to go and check out Dark Cheese's base, because every now and then we do a little tour, right? And we haven't done one in a while. We've sort of fallen out of the habit, so we're back on today to do that. But you can get access to this server through any type of subscription that you have here on the channel. So some of you got gifted subs earlier in the stream. If you want to be a part of this community, ask in chat. They'll point you in the right direction. You'll get access for a month. You can come on here, interact with people, play, and find out if it's a community for you. And what I do on my streams occasionally is a little highlight on someone's base. And today we are checking out Dark Cheese's base, which is a tiny valley city of varying styles. It is ever expanding in various directions, and some people would describe it as a humble place to visit. I'm excited by that because I often get dragged into doing large-scale building, and I'm quite interested in smaller scale. And this kind of sounds like humble, smaller-scale building, and it is really nice. So I'm seeing, I was about to say, a variety of like block palette here, and then bam, loads of color. Like, yeah, nice little combinations. What's behind that? Gold block. Oh my god, it looks like a lantern. Dude, gold and bamboo, they go together really well. Right? That color fits it. I'm in creative mode. I'm like trying to munch on this carrot for some reason. I think maybe it's because I'm used to moving around fast, and then we've come to an area without a beacon, and I'm like, oh, better eat up so I can sprint. There's Dark Cheese themselves, chilling out, hanging out. We've got Piglet in a coat. This is cool. Yeah, I can see how it's all about like the humble, smaller scale and the smaller the spaces, which is awesome. And like packing detail into it and stuff. I'm very curious though by this build that we're currently at, because it's just got so many different colors built onto it. It's crazy. I like it. It reminds me of like a bunch of shipping containers all stacked up. And then here, this is interesting. Really interesting. It's like a B-dubs build, but like really scaled down. That's the vibe I'm getting. And I think they want us to come inside and go down below into, oh, where are we going? Down into a dark hole. Oh, this is cool. That's nice. Very bold use of color. It can be scary to use color so boldly like this, but they're just going for it. I'm liking the fade here of the blocks as well. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Woo. I love the resin on that side. That really pops. Resin's a tricky block to build with, but it pops ever so nicely there. Why is that? I think it's because it's like the accent color of the room. You've got red, you've got a darker color up top, and then stone on the walls, right? And then you've got the shroom lights and the lanterns bringing you that orange, and then it's really saturated here, but it fits in because you've already seen it elsewhere in the room. That's my take. Xisuma's take on building. Very cool stuff. And I like the painting as well. You love the 1920s headband. Who's wearing that? The resin give that lava feel without the burn risk. That's true. I think we play with fire tick off on this server. Right, I'm gonna hop up into the sky because I noticed this ridge here when you're down below. It's like, oh, what's over there? This is just their custom terrain. Oh, I see. So they're making their builds feel enclosed. This is I really like the approach here. I feel like you can kind of see how it's about controlling the sightlines, right? So you pop through from one area to another, and these little hills control your sightlines. It's just on a really like manageable scale. I could see myself taking an approach like this and for a build in a future season or something. Really cool. This build over here caught my eye as well. Looks awesome. I miss doing these tours because they're just very inspirational. Just give you some ideas on things you can do. The thing is, I'm kind of like, my tank for inspiration right now is kind of full. Like, I know what I'm doing with my season. So that's why I start talking about future seasons. We actually walked around a fair bit of it. This is really cool. Dark Cheese, I enjoyed that. I'd say keep going. Keep expanding. Keep having fun with it. Yeah, you got a really cool thing going on here. I want to pop down into this spot. I like this one from this side. Yeah, just lots of really bold, like, experiments of color and shape on a small scale. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Peeps, you might have sussed it out. That's actually the end of my stream today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I plugged my music earlier. I'll plug it again. If you didn't know I make music, you want to go listen to a record of mine, check it out. Soulside Eclipse. And if you would like to order yourself a flag, you got until the end of the month. Let's go do a riggedy raid. No one I'm following is streaming at this time. Can we get an English channel? Yep, I got one. Right, I'm gonna go raid a random channel with a few viewers. So go check it out. See if you like it. Support the Minecraft community. And I will see you again on Tuesday after the snapshot, right? We'll try and stick to that rhythm. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the raid and see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.